Any health-related information on the following show provides general information only. Content presented on any show by any host or guest should not be substituted for a doctor's advice. Always consult your physician before beginning any new diet, exercise, or treatment program.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Inspired and Empowered Living TV show and podcast. We are live Tuesdays, 11 a.m. Eastern on talk4tv.com, w4wn.com, and my YouTube channel. And today we will be talking about achieve and thrive while manifesting your dreams. Learn how to keep moving towards your dreams and stay in a positive state of mind. Discover how to stay focused and thrive and clear any blocks that would stop you from accomplishing your intentions. Achieve and thrive while you manifest your dreams to create your inspired and empowered life. I'm your host, Nanci Deutsch, licensed clinical social worker, certified hypnotherapist, and intuitive coach. And I combine my counseling, coaching, and intuitive abilities to transform your life. And together, let's create a life you love. This show is for educational purposes only, and it is not a replacement for therapy or counseling. So I want to welcome you all. So glad that you're here joining me. As always, you can always type in your questions to anything that I'm saying, and let's get started. So, right off the bat, positive thinking. You've all heard about positive thinking. Now, you want to be thinking positive to achieve your dreams and thrive, right? Well, positive thinking, it's a yes and a no. So, what do I mean by that? What I mean is, yes, you want to think positively. Positive thinking is important when you want to focus on creating your intentions. And if you remember, one of my steps is that daily focusing on what you want to create your intentions. However, and this is the big however, if you are not doing your work to clear your energy, then you may not create what you want. So I see we have Allie in the house. Good morning, Allie. And we have a question. What if we are not so positive every day as we go along? It's from Country Corners Gazette. So if you're not feeling positive, and this is the positive thinking that I'm talking about, you can't think yourself into the positive. And what I really mean by that, because, all right, I want you to imagine with me. Okay. I'm thinking about something that that one of my mentors had said. And basically he said, you can't put whipped cream on poop. Okay? Because what happens is if you're not feeling positive, or if you're not in that positive state of mind and you're trying to think the positive, you're thinking it from your head, but you're not feeling it, there's a disconnect. And so what's going to be really important is for you to learn how to make an alignment and make that connection so that you are feeling and thinking positively. Now, is it better to think positive than negative? Yes. But if you have convinced yourself that I'm really positive and everything's fine, but you're really not feeling that, then your job is to figure out where the missing piece is. What's making you not so positive? So what I would support you, if you're not feeling so positive, and I'm going to say, getting into a positive state of mind takes work. Sometimes it takes more work than other days. And sometimes we just need to kind of be where we're at. To try to, like, I'll give you an example. Let's say you just lost someone you love, or you just lost your job. Or you lost something that is important to you. Then you would probably be feeling grief. And for you to say, oh, I'm not feeling grief. No, I don't feel grief at all. I'm fine. Everything's fine. Now, you could be in shock. And hi there. Hi, Sandy. Good to see you. Welcome. And you could be and needing to be feeling the grief. And so what I want to support you is know that if you're not feeling positive, there may be feelings that you need to feel to get you to the positive place. And I'm going to quote something from the Abraham material, Jerry and Esther Hicks, and Esther Hicks is the one who brings them forth. And they talked about the scale, whereas if you can't go from grief to happy, which is understandable, maybe you can feel your feelings and grieve, and then be able to be maybe more neutral or okay. And I also want you to know grief comes in waves. So you may be feeling fine, and then all of a sudden you feel grief. Or let's say a song, I know this happens for me. A song comes on the radio that reminds me of one of my loved ones who passed. And all of a sudden I start feeling the grief. Or there's something that happens and I think of them. And so what I want you to know is it's okay to have feelings. And your job is to feel your feelings and let them go. So, and you know that you've come back to a positive state of alignment to achieve and thrive when you feel peace, love, joy, gratitude. Those are the feeling states of the higher aspects of yourself. Those are the feeling states you want to be in. And so let me do my quick Psych 101. so that we're all on the same page. You have your conscious mind, and your conscious mind is that part of you that is consciously aware, that consciously said, I'm going to join the Inspired and Empowered Living TV show or listen to the podcast. Thank you, conscious mind of yours. Your conscious mind empowers you to make decisions. And then your subconscious mind is the part of you from the moment you were conceived to present time, has recorded every moment, the limiting beliefs, the emotions, and also all the positive things as well. And when you're not feeling so positive, it's your job to understand what's going on in that subconscious mind of yours. Now, it could be ancestral and it could be past life also. But learning to understand the messages of your subconscious mind, and that those messages come through your body, they come through your dreams, they come through things like when you're in a meditative state, messages from your subconscious mind are coming through. Your feelings, when you start and continue to align yourself with positive feelings, you start thriving. And so if you're not in that positive state, it's going to be doing the clearing. And we'll talk more about that too, so that you can get back to feeling more positive, focusing on the intentions that you've set for yourself to create this year. And I really want to support all of you in knowing that you can do it. I know you can do it. I believe in you. Really want you to know that. And you're probably thinking to yourself, well, you don't even know me. And I am going to tell you that you have it within you. If you have had a dream of yours that you want to create, or you want to feel better, happier, more satisfied in life, those desires are coming from your soul. Now, I know that I've talked about sometimes desires come from your ego and sometimes they come from your soul. But if it's a desire that keeps coming back and back through the years, it's a desire of your soul. And if your soul desires it, you can create it. I really want to support you in doing that. Okay. So Misty says, can the subconscious mind ever control the body in the awake state? So the subconscious mind is always affecting your body in the awake state. So, for example, when you have perhaps an ache or a pain, that could be messages, probably is messages from your subconscious mind. When you have, whether an ear infection, a sore throat, sinus infection, or you are having some kind of physical symptom, those physical symptoms, there's a correlation between the mind and the body. And your subconscious mind is talking to you through those symptoms. And I will tell you, every time I get a symptom, I say to myself, what is the message? What is the message that this symptom is trying to tell me? And you can see if you can connect with what your subconscious mind is trying to tell you. Now, I also want to talk about the superconscious mind, and that's your higher aspects. your higher self, the wise, unconditionally loving part of you, your soul, and the universe, God, higher power, your angels, your guides. It's all part of the higher aspects, the superconscious mind. And know that the superconscious mind is the part of you you want to be connecting with to achieve your dreams and thrive as you do it. And so when you're not feeling in the positive state, it's learning to become aware and then trying to understand what your subconscious mind or what's going on for you so that you can shift the energy to a state shift. So I want to read something from Esther and Jerry Hicks, the Abraham material from the book, The Law of Attraction. And let me take off the glasses. To better understand the law of attraction, see yourself as a magnet, attracting unto you the essence of that which you are thinking and feeling. And so if you are feeling fat, you cannot attract thin. If you are feeling poor, you cannot attract prosperity, and so on. It defies the law and goes on to say, the more you come to understand the power of the law of attraction, the more interest you will have in deliberately directing your thoughts. For what you think about, you get, whether you want it or not. Without exception, that which you give thought to is that which you begin to invite into your experience. So, really, this is about, and I see, and before I go on to the next piece, I see Rebel posted in the chat, the inspired and empowered living.com/meditation. It's a meditation to help you become more positive and to focus, to clear your energy, to connect and to receive the answers of your next steps or whatever questions you have. So, really want to support you in getting that meditation. Inspired and empowered living.com/meditation. MEDITATION. MEDITATION. So inspired and empowered living.com/meditation. Okay. So I see we have a question. Is manifesting a ritual type thing or a prayer type thing? So manifesting can be. You can create a ritual or you can pray in order to work on manifesting. So any of that is possible. And what you want is to really, the most important thing about manifesting, to me, I will define manifesting for you. To me, manifesting is bringing that which you want into physical reality, bringing it into form. So you may have a thought or a feeling about what you would love to have in your life. Maybe it's a fulfilling job. or a fulfilling your life purpose. Maybe it's that amazing relationship, loving, kind relationship that you've looked for, that you prayed for. Maybe it's financial freedom. Maybe it's health and feeling healthy in your body. All of that is possible. And bringing that which you desire into form is the process of manifesting. And so you can create a ritual to work on bringing it into form, or you can pray. And you can also visualize and affirm. Keep working on and visualizing and feeling and knowing and believing that which you desire, that which is your intention, that you are bringing it into form. Just because we want something doesn't make it be. Don't we have to put effort into it happening? Yes, usually. Okay. So if you really want something, you do have to put in the effort. You need to put in the effort to get clear on what it is you want. You need to put in the effort to clear anything that would keep you from bringing it into form, from manifesting it. And yes, you need to put in the effort to connect to the higher aspects of yourself so that it just really is, really you feel it, you sense it, you know it, you believe it, you know it's going to happen. You know it's happening. Or perhaps you even feel it has happened. And it takes work. And it takes daily practice or just really that feeling and that belief, and you can surrender it. So does it take work? It does take work. It does. Definitely. Definitely it takes work. But I'm going to say, if it's something you really want, and that's also a way that you can feel if it's that shiny object thing or it's coming deep from your soul. When it's coming deep from your soul, you'll do anything in a positive way to bring that into form. Now, you still may need to clear your energy, like you may need to clear your fears or the fears of not feeling worthy or good enough or deserving of having what you want. You may need to clear not feeling capable of bringing it into form. You may need to clear other pieces to it. But if it's coming from your soul and it's time, nothing can stop you. However, if it's something you've wanted from that ego place and it is not for your highest good, you may get blocked from achieving it or creating it because it's just not for your highest good. And so what happens is it doesn't happen. And sometimes it could be the timing, and sometimes it could be it's just not for your highest good. And sometimes you may end up creating something and say, I thought I wanted this, but this isn't what I want. And maybe you needed to have the experience of having it and realizing it, that there's something else. Back to Abraham, the Abraham material, the law of attraction. They talk about contrast. So let's say you manifested something and you're like, you know what? I don't know. I don't think this is really what I want. I thought this was, or maybe it's more this. And then Misty says learning to notice is important. Definitely learning to notice. So if you notice that this isn't what you want, then you need to start tweaking it to create what you do want. Learning to notice, what Misty said, is crucial. It's crucial because learning to notice, that's the conscious awareness that I talk about. Learning to be consciously aware is, am I heading in the right direction or am I off path? And sometimes you may not realize it until it happens. And I really want you all to know, because I know sometimes you ask, well, how do we know we're on track? How do we know if this is the right action? And sometimes you don't until you start taking actions and then something feels off or it doesn't feel right anymore. Or perhaps you've changed course. That can happen too. No, it's all fine. It's all part of your learning process. You know, we are here on this planet as creators, as manifestors. And part of that creation and manifesting is to discover more of what we want. And maybe you're moving in the right directions and you're like, yes, this is it. This is it. I'm on the right track. And you can feel it. And you feel that inspiration. Then you know that is a message from your soul that you're on the right track. Your soul is talking to you all the time. And usually it's talking through your thoughts and your feelings. And so really what you want to do is, now remember, you're creating all the time. And now you want to focus on your conscious creations. I see it. You want to focus on your conscious creations and move forward towards that. Okay, so I know there's a question that came in. When you say change course, are you saying a curve in the road, a turn, a new destination? Could be all of the above, any of the above. So when I say change course, let me give you an example. I'm going to try giving you an example. So there's certain things that I have been working on. I'll give you an example. All right. So I really believed in my heart of heart that I needed to complete my book back in 2020. And I was inspired and I was going for it and I was working on it. And then all of a sudden the energy, like there was no more energy there and I just wasn't motivated. I just wasn't inspired. And I've always wanted a book. I've always wanted to complete my own book, and I've been in compilation books, and I have another one, a compilation book that's coming out soon. You'll be hearing more about it. And I always wanted. And then the energy just wasn't there anymore. So I changed course and I said, okay, well, I need to focus on other things. And so I started focusing on other things like growing my practice, looking to do training programs, growing groups, doing other things. And then it was in 2020, the end of 2022. All of a sudden, I started getting messages that all of a sudden there were, like, I have 5 steps to my intuition advantage system, which is what the book was based on. And I had no clue, not a clue, that there was going to be 2 other steps at the time in 2020. But Spirit kind of like, I just kind of lost the drive, put it on the back burner, and did what was in front of me. And then I got 2 other steps in my okay, wait, I'll get your question in a second. And I had 2 other steps that needed to be in the book before the book could come out. And so the book is going to be, by the end of 2024 or beginning of 2025, the book will be finished. It is my commitment this year, and I'm stating it publicly, okay? So you can call me on it. Okay. Was it just not time, Country Corners Gazette, was it just not time to finish the book, or did it just not need to come out? Okay. So what I believe is that when you have a change in course, or like, here's the thing, I still feel the book is coming out. It's just not in the time my ego thought it was going to be coming out. It's going to be coming out on the divine plan, because the divine plan oversees our ego every time. And so I really believe that it was not meant to come out at that time. It wasn't meant to be. Even though my ego said, yes, 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 yes. My soul and the universe said, patience, trust, no. But I didn't understand. I didn't know. So therefore, did the work that I do back in 2020 be a waste? No, I have a lot of the book finished. I did a lot of work on it, but now I need to tweak it, because I've also added another interesting piece or turn to it. So there's different reasons that something may not manifest into form yet. It's on its way. Now, that book is definitely something that's really important to my mission, to my work out in this world, to leave my legacy. And I know it's a soul calling, but it's not on my time. It's on God's time. Misty. You just needed time for things to complete before you put it out. Yes. See, there's something called divine timing. And this is a really important piece to understand. Divine timing means that there are certain pieces of the puzzle that need to happen before your dream or your desire can manifest into form. So you need to be able to move towards what's presenting, what's in front of you, and work on it and follow the energy. And no, and another one of I have a couple of mentors that are coming to me. One it has talked about doing what presents. My mentor Jennifer, and Jennifer talks about do what presents. Keep going. Okay, I'll get that question in a second. Keep going. Do what presents. And my other mentor, Sanaya, has said, when you're meant to do something, it's coming from that place of inspiration and soul. It's like you can't but feel it. Like you just feel so inspired, and you're moving, and you're taking the steps, and you're moving towards that dream. It's like you cannot not do it. And so that's what inspired action is all about. That's what you want to live from, inspired action, where you're taking the steps moment by moment, day by day, to create your dreams. Inspired action. Okay, Country Corners Gazette. What if we are not in time with the divine? Okay. So who's to say? Who's to say that you're not in time? Perhaps it's your ego saying, I am not in time. I'm not doing it good enough. I'm not doing it fast enough. That's all ego. And know that the divine loves you unconditionally. And I really believe, and here's the thing, is sometimes you need to clear the energy. I've had to do a lot of clearing, and I'm still clearing energy about completing this book. I'm sharing with you something that feels very personal, but I want to share it with you. It came to me, and I'm letting you in on this because I want you to know I'm in process just as much as you are. And I really want you to know that if you are worried about you're not doing it good enough or fast enough or enough, that's your ego. And the most important thing that you can do, and I needed to do, was clear my energy. Misty says, thank you for sharing. And Country Corners said, thank you. Thank you. I'm grateful to all of you because you make a difference in my life, knowing that I'm sharing information and it makes a difference in your life. That's what we're here for. You're an inspiration to me as I inspire you. So what I really want to support you all in knowing that if you're working on yourself and you're working on taking steps to move you in the directions, now you may be feeling stuck, or you may be feeling in inertia or procrastination. And I also want you all to know that all of those feelings, that there's something going on in your subconscious mind that's trying to give you a message. Now, yes, sometimes it's not time, but to me, it's always time to allow yourself to clear the energy if it's occurring. Now, if everything's fine and you're going along and you're in achieving and thriving and you're doing what's presenting, as Jennifer says, know that you are on course. And even if you're feeling like you're procrastinating or you're feeling something is blocking you, you're not sure what it is, if you're working on trying to understand it or learning more about who you are, self-discovery, you're on the right track. Even if it's not in form yet, you're on the right track. And so what I really want you to know is that when it's time, perhaps procrastination is part of the process that you need to be in order for you, and the clearing in order for you to bring that manifestation into form. I know Misty has a question or a comment, but know the difference between on course and stuck in a rut and setting. Know the difference. Okay. So I think, Misty, you're saying, correct me if I'm wrong, the difference between, so you want to know the difference between being on course. You know you're on course when you're in that energy of flow and you're feeling that flow and things are moving. When you're feeling stuck or in a rut, at that point, what your work is setting in a settling. Okay. Okay, when you're on course or stuck in a rut or settling. If you're stuck in a rut or settling, first of all, let me do stuck in a rut. If you're feeling stuck in a rut, then what I support you in doing, and this is also goes for settling. Okay, now I understand. If you're feeling stuck in a rut and or are settling, what I'm going to support you in doing is to do some kind of work and start asking yourself, what's happening for me now? Like, do some journaling at the top of the page. I feel stuck in a rut because, or I'm settling because. And then I want you to journal, just journal and see what happens. That's part of the clearing process. Understanding what's going on for you on the subconscious level will help be the first step to clearing the energy on the next levels. So the next few shows are coming up in February. And my favorite thing to do, and I'll be talking more about clearing in February. So, because we're going to start the month around self-love and really loving yourself. And part of that is if you're feeling stuck in a rut or you feel like you're settling, then there may be something inside of you that's not allowing you to love yourself, to move towards what you want and desire, or to have it in your life, or what you're really desiring. Maybe you think you just can't get it, or there's nothing better that you can get. So all of those will be covered in next month as we talk about self-love, the art of loving yourself, and we'll be talking about relationships. So stay tuned for more inspired and empowered living next week. And thank you all Okay, so Misty says can't get it or deserve it. All right, Misty, we will continue this next week, okay? And I really want to say thank you all for participating and sharing. I really appreciate you. And those who will listen to this at a later time, I thank you as well. And spread the news. Definitely want all of you to keep growing and thriving and achieving your inspired and empowered life, manifesting those dreams and visions. And so join me next Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern on Talk4TV, W4WN.com, and my YouTube channel. And you can find the podcast on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Pandora, and Apple, and Amazon. And we'll be talking about next week going for it, loving yourself so that you can manifest those dreams and visions. You deserve it. It's there for the asking. And we'll talk more about it next week. So I wish you all an inspired and empowered day and an inspired and empowered week. Have a great one, everybody. Bye for now.